Previously.
Welcome back to the channel, DEM members. Today's video is a follow-up to the video where Aaron and I talked about the PSA Dagger Micro 15-round magazines versus the Shield Arm 15-round magazines. If you want to check out that video from March, it is linked right here. In short, my experience with the PSA Dagger Micro magazine was less than stellar. I acknowledge that this could have been just a one-off issue or just a quality control issue with the PSA Dagger Micro magazines. However, and thank you to our community, we had an overwhelming response to that video. We had a ton of people say that the Shield Arms magazines were fantastic. We had other people saying they were terrible. We had a lot of people saying that the Palmetto State Armory magazines were amazing. But we had a lot of people commenting that they were having the exact same issues that I was experiencing with my Dagger Micro magazine. Other people were fantastic in mentioning that there are some videos out on YouTube that discuss the issue with this magazine and even show how to potentially fix the issue. To be clear, I have not yet attempted to fix this magazine. We'll address that a little later in this video. Now, towards the end of that original video, I said that I was going to be buying a second one of PSA's Dagger Micro magazines, and I was going to compare them. Well, when it arrived, I noticed that it was not quite the magazine that I had ordered. The second magazine I had ordered was pictured to look exactly like this first one. What I received was an all black magazine. Still all metal back and polymer front, but instead of the two-tone finish, it is an all black finish. Actually, I have two of these PSA Dagger Micro magazines. This was the first indicator that Palmetto State Armory had actually come out with a second generation PSA Dagger Micro 15-round magazine. And by all accounts, it may have just been a simple order mix-up because you can now get these magazines in both finishes. I was also later able to confirm that PSA has moved on to a second generation of this 15-round magazine. And that on a very, very, very tiny level annoyed me because that meant that I wasn't going to be able to get another one of the Gen 1 PSA magazines very easily. But due to the sheer number of comments that echoed my experiences with the first gen PSA magazine, we're going to assume that it was a quality control issue. So I thought we would run up to the range and put these magazines through their paces, see if they have any of the same issues that the first generation magazine had, or if they have corrected the problem. All right, this is the second iteration of the PSA Dagger Micro 15-round magazine. Not a problem. Let's go another 15. My thumb got in the way. Let's go another 15. Again, didn't lock back. I have more problems with that on my Glock 43X than I do with any of my other striker fire guns. All right, now that we're back in the air conditioning, I just want to talk over and kind of debrief on what we experienced out at the range. I have a couple hundred rounds through each of my Gen 2 PSA mags, and I think I have had one malfunction on one of the two magazines, and for all I know, I could have limp wristed that shot. I never said I was perfect, but I haven't had anywhere near the issues that I had with the first gen magazine. I'm going to go over to the workbench and I'm going to demonstrate what I have learned through a little bit of the research regarding the malfunctions of this magazine. And then we'll tear down both magazines and we'll just show the differences. All right, this is going to be a different view for people that have been watching the Phantom Llama's Den for a while, but we're going to go with it. We're going to try it out. As you can see, this is my first gen PSA Dagger Micro magazine, two-tone finish there. And then this is one of my second gen magazines. So the biggest issue, the most common issue that I have had with the first generation PSA Dagger Micro is that when it's trying to strip a round out of the magazine and load it into the chamber, the round will just fail to feed. And we're gonna see if we can get any of these rounds to show why that's occurring here. So pushing forward, that one didn't do it, that one did. So what's happening is the casing is getting caught on the front of the magazine here. So with a little extra push, it'll come out, but, oh, and third round, doing it as well. I'm going to have a mess to clean up. Now let's compare what we just saw to the second gen Dagger Micro magazine. Catch that? No hang-ups on the front of the magazine there. So what I want to do very briefly is just tear down both of these magazines for you and show you what's going on at the front of the magazine that's causing that round to catch on the first gen one, but not on the second gen magazine. I don't know if this is going to show up too terribly well on this camera or not, but we're going to give it the old college try. If you look carefully at the front of the magazine here, this lip, the metal piece behind the polymer is, for all intents and purposes, going up straight. It's leaning out a little bit, but for the most part, it is straight up and down. And if you run your fingernail across it, I just cut my fingernail, so it's not going to work too well. You can feel a little bit of resistance just catch your fingernail at the very end of that lip. And that's what's causing the problem. Compare that to the Gen 2 magazine, and you can see that this lip moves a little more outwards at the top. And again, if I could get this to focus at all here on the lip, if you were to look very closely, it is filed in such a way that it's smoother towards the outside. So it's almost rounded going outwards. This is why the rounds, I just tried to put one in here. That's why when the round is being fed out, it doesn't catch on the front of that lip like it does on the Gen 1. It does seem that these Gen 2 magazines have addressed the issue with the feed lip. Now, I'm not going to be going into the specifics or demonstrating how to correct the issue with the magazines. There are people out there far more qualified to instruct you on how to modify the magazines. And I'm going to link probably the best of the videos down in the description. The School of the American Rifle. He has a fantastic video that goes through the entire issue with the first gen Dagger Micro magazines, and he shows how to address each individual issue. And it's a fantastic resource for anybody that wants to modify these magazines themselves to correct the issue. With that said, PSA offers a lifetime warranty on these magazines. That means if you contact PSA and tell them what the issue is, they're going to replace that product for you. So if you're not comfortable trying to fix the magazine yourself, you can always return it to PSA and they'll send you one of their new generation magazines. But because I have more money than sense and because I have two working new generation magazines, I thought I would still go ahead and modify my first generation magazine. I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera right now, and we'll meet back up at the range to see how I did. Oh, this is unfortunate. I just got to the range and I found out that it is closed for a little bit for a special private event, so we're not gonna be able to do a testing of that magazine, but I figured that I can show that the casings no longer get caught on that front feed lip. There you go. No issues. I'll make a follow-up short down the road, and I'll have a link down in the description and pinned comment once I get around to it, of the magazine functioning properly. I have every confidence that the changes that I made, the fixes that I made there, will make it operate without any issues. So in conclusion, it seems that Palmetto State Armory has corrected the issues that were inherent or very problematic in their first gen of the Dagger Micro magazines. And the second generation of the magazine really does seem to be a lot more reliable. Again, I have a sample size of 2. Please sound off in the comment section if you've bought one of the newer generation magazines. Let me know if you're still having these issues, or if it really does seem to be a reliable magazine. We'd love to hear from you, and we really appreciate all of the community feedback on these videos. I think I mentioned it in last week's video, but June has been an insane month. And if you can't tell in this video, I am getting over some nasty bug that I got. Right now, the last couple weeks of June are just feeling a little weird because we have so much content planned starting in July, moving into August and September. We're really excited for some announcements on the channel that are coming very soon. You're not gonna wanna miss out. Make sure you're subscribed to the Phantom Llama's Den and you've hit that bell icon to get notifications on all of our future content. We cannot wait. That's gonna do it for this video, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the Phantom Llama's Den. Check us out on X, Instagram. Check out PhantomLlamasDen.com and go follow us on Twitch, where we get really out of hand on the weekends. As always, don't take life too seriously and make it a great day.